you'll be surprised how many people miss their blessing or don't receive their blessings in life because they don't either, deem themselves worthy, they don't understand the power of prayer, or they just don't believe that God hears their prayers. And I know that when we're waiting on the Lord, it gets tough. You really have to practice patience, but it's a worth it wait. No one can deliver us like the Lord can. And with that being said, without prayer and petition, it's like, what do we have? Like, without going to the Lord and telling him the desires of our heart and waiting on him to deliver them, it truly is like the question, like, what do we have? Like, I mean, we may have things that are temporary, or we may get some things that we want, but it doesn't last long when it's not, like, when God isn't involved in it, right? So, like, even for a job, like, say you get a job that you really like, or not even that you like it, but it pays nice, say something like that. But if it's a good thing, not a God thing, it's not gonna last long, right? So, or like a relationship, somebody you see is pretty or handsome, and so that's the only thing that's all it takes, and then you're with that person, y'all are dating, but it might be a good thing, but it might not be a God thing. It might not be who God has ordained for you to be with, and it won't last long because y'all don't have the same values, the same morals, the same interests, the same insight, the same heart, the same faith, right? Glory be to God. So that was just an example, because it's like, without prayer and petition, it's like, well, what do we have? Honestly, like, we don't have, I know I don't. Without prayer, going to God, telling him what's on my heart, allowing him to work through me and heal me and transform my mind, like, I don't have much that I can say that I can call my own. Like, I got to put God first. And so God just wanted me to come on here and remind you guys today to come to him in prayer and petition for all the things, all the desires of your heart, and wait on him to deliver them. Glory be to God. Because without seeking God and putting him first, it's like we idolize so many other things, like we idolize things that God doesn't want us to idolize anything. God doesn't even want us to idolize him. He wants us to have a relationship with him. He wants us to prioritize him. He wants us to put, his thoughts at the forefront of our mind instead of our own, his desires, his purpose, his will, his plan. Glory be to God. Right? Many are the desires in the heart of a man, but God's plan, God's purpose always prevails. And so you can go to him for what you want, and I'm pretty sure, and he will deliver you. He will deliver it to you, but he also has a bigger plan for you. So when certain things don't work out that maybe you wanted to work out, when certain things don't go the way that you wanted them to, just know that God has better for you. He has more for you. But we don't want to idolize other things, right? Maybe we idolize ourselves, or maybe we idolize, wannabe power, or we idolize, our bodies, or we idolize other people's bodies, or we idolize, money, or we idolize drugs. Ooh, that was for somebody, or we idolize alcohol. We idolize things that we think can heal us in a way that only God can. And so we end up delaying our purpose. We end up delaying God's will for our lives because of the distractions. And that's what the enemy comes to do, is distract you. Like, the enemy don't want you to reach your destiny. But that's okay, because God does. God is rooting for you. God is fighting battles for you on your behalf. God is taking care of it, but we have our own will where we have to make decisions that align with our destiny so that God's plan for our life shall come to pass. God is working on us all. He is, and we're not done. I always ask God, keep working on me, make me over. And I know that he's going to deliver. But I was just having that thought to myself that, like, without prayer and petition, like, we go through things, but that's what's going to get us through it. Prayer, like, we got to use our voices and pray against, principalities of darkness. We got to pray against our own demons. We got to pray against our own things that are hindering our growth, right? That we know that we don't need anymore, that we know it's time to let go of, that God is calling us out of, right? Little things like even social media. God is calling us out of toxic relationships, toxic, family members. God is, like, putting us on our path that's gonna seem like you're isolated for a while. It's gonna seem like it's just you're by yourself. It's gonna seem like you're lonely. It's gonna seem like, you know, you're gonna go through all these different emotions that are gonna, that's adversity right there. Like, that's adversity. Like, the things that you are working through to become a better you, that's adversity. And so you got to face those things. You have to go through them so that you can really see what God has been wanting to do for you this entire time. So I just had a quick word for you all. Pray to God, go to him about the desires of your heart, and let him reveal to you how much better it is for you, right? How much more he has for you. God always does exceedingly and abundantly more than all that we can ask, think, or imagine. So if you ask him for something that you want in your heart, just know that maybe it didn't come in the form that you wanted it, but it's going to come in an even better way, right? Some of y'all been praying for like a love that's like genuine, that you don't have to fight for, that has reciprocity in it, right? And we just got to be patient. That's the main thing. We got to be able to wait long enough to receive it, you know. So glory be to God. I pray that this word blesses you in some way, shape, or form. I pray that you enjoy the rest of your matchless and marvelous day that the Lord has given you. Rejoice and be glad in it. And y'all take care now.